Taking things, it's very risky. Even if you see somebody who has their shit together talking about it on YouTube, doesn't mean that you can take it, and doesn't even mean that they're able to take it while exercising control. Coach Greg and fellow Canadian YouTuber PsycedSubstance has released a video says he's quitting all forms of PDs, drugs, everything. This guy, over 2 million followers, he makes highly educational videos on several different drugs, and even recently HRT with Derek from More Plates, More Dates. So essentially this guy's done everything, experienced it all, and educated us on what it does. But eventually, as with most drugs, it's hard to control yourself, and his family has actually left him. Very sad to see that drugs took this toll, and for the most part, I thought he had everything under control. He makes such educational videos, he seems to have everything under control, but behind the scenes, he didn't. It just goes to show that no matter how famous you are, how educated you are, how smart you are, you can't always control illegal or even legal substances. So he made a video, it's called, "My Family Left Me, I Was Wrong About Psychedelics." We're gonna watch the video, talk about it, and hopefully by the end of the video, you'll understand that taking things, it's very risky. Even if you see somebody who has their shit together talking about it on YouTube, doesn't mean that you can take it, and doesn't even mean that they're able to take it while exercising control.
Family left me and I decided it was time to quit opioids, stimulants, and what else? We got nitrous, alcohol, all cold turkey. So we're on day 3 of withdrawals.
So he's quitting it all drugs of any kind, legal and illegal, even alcohol and caffeine. Guys going cold turkey, walks up a mountain for days, get away from everything, try to clear his mind and enjoy the scenery. Sometimes you have to disconnect from the world, get back to your roots, back to the basics, and recharge yourself, start over from scratch. In today's world with social media, the internet, sometimes we just get lost and caught up in what's going on around us, rather than looking at nature and going back to our roots. So he stopped making videos, his family left him, he started abusing these substances even more, and so it's a vicious cycle. It was finally time for a change, and hopefully this time for good. He's stopped in the past, but then goes back to his old habits. This happens to so many people. This is not an isolated incident, and I'm sure many of you watching this video can relate. So he's currently 11 days sober, and this video was recorded on day 3. He's suffering from all kinds of withdrawal symptoms. He doesn't feel good, but he's doing his best to stop taking what he was taking.
And I would say that yes, psychedelics are powerful tools for curing all kinds of addictions. But yeah, I mean, they do help a lot of people, so why have they not helped me?
And so he's saying he used psychedelics and it did help him stop using other drugs, and he stopped taking everything for a while. And so why did he start using them again? Well, I would argue that once you're an addict, you're always an addict. You can't just say, I stopped, I'm good, I'm cured. It could always come back. Same with eating disorders. Just because you have a hold of your eating right now doesn't mean you're done, it's all good, hunky-dory for the rest of your life. It's a constant battle, a constant struggle. And so you might think, oh, I can just dabble a little bit here, a little bit there. But then before you know it, you're taking more, and it doesn't stop. This is the case with all addictions. You need to take more and more of the same substance to get the same or even less of the results.
You could also argue that's because I never sought out any form of therapy. I've always been very hard-headed, stubborn, arrogant, whatever you want to call it.
And unfortunately, this can spiral out of control. We're always seeking out the dopamine hit, and if you get it from a drug, rather than chasing a dream or doing something, going after it harder than last time, it's too easy. It's too easy to just sit on the couch, do drugs, get your dopamine fix, and do nothing. Take on no challenges. Resorting to drugs to give you happiness, to escape whatever problems you have, it might seem like a good idea at the time, but the problem is, sooner or later, it spirals out of control.
A lot of people don't understand just how severe opioid addiction is. Literally anyone can get addicted to these things if they start using them too much.
And opioid addiction of all things, it's one of the hardest things to get over. You might think, oh, it'll never happen to me. And before you know it, you're addicted. Even doctors have become addicted. Have you not seen the millions of people who become addicted to opioids, such as OxyContin?
A great example can be found in in the Disney Plus. It's actually a star show called Dopesick.
And he's talking about the series Dopesick. If you haven't seen this, I highly recommend it. Me and Ali watched it. It is amazing. It shows how the opioid OxyContin became a highly addictive drug in the United States. All because of the lies they were spewing to try to make billions, yes, billions of dollars from this drug. It ruined families, and even doctors were getting addicted to it. Doctors who were very much against opioid use. But hey, they told us it's safe. They told us it's not addictive. And then before you know it, you can't stop taking it.
Now, I'm not suggesting that Kratom, the opioid that I found myself having hooks in, is as strong as that. The withdrawals and the actual experience does share several similarities.
And so Kratom, another drug which is not quite as strong, not quite the same thing, but kinda. People are speaking about that, saying, oh, let's all get into this, let's take this. But he's saying, no, don't do it. You might start off only taking one once in a while, then before you know it, you're taking one multiple times a day and can't stop.
And largely why I got addicted to it is because I believe the false claims. Like, I first started taking it over 5 years ago. People are realizing just how addictive it actually is and just how brutal the withdrawals are.
And so the false claims were there. Oh no, it's not addictive, don't worry about it, it's safe. Then a few years later, nope, it's too late and now you can't stop. And no, this is not like testosterone. People are going to say, oh, you're selling testosterone. That's not the same thing. It's not highly addictive. It's not remotely addictive, as in there's zero addiction qualities to testosterone.
There's some traumatic thing that happened in my childhood that didn't allow me to learn proper coping strategies. So I seek that out in the comfort of compounds that give me a false sense of attachment.
People abuse drugs for a number of reasons, but overall, it comes down to the same reason. They're doing it because it's making them feel good at the time. Doesn't mean long term. It's about right now. How do I feel right now? And so people want to feel better right away. And so what do? Well, they grab that bottle of wine, that bottle of vodka, beer. Perhaps they take a bump, 10 bumps, 100. Or maybe a pill, bunch of pills, maybe a few sprinkles. You know what I'm talking about. But that's only a temporary fix, and if you keep relying on that, it's not going to work in the long run.
I don't intend to fall back on these things, which is why I'm actually seeing 2 different therapists.
So he and I strongly suggest that you seek professional help. He has 2 counselors. Before his pride was too strong, he wanted to solve these problems on his own. Highly recommend you talk to somebody else. You are not equipped to handle all these major problems. It's hard enough with a counselor, with 2 counselors.
But when things get really hard, I always find myself back on this path, and I think enough is enough.
So I wish him the best on his journey to being sober. Hopefully you learned something from this video. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. Watch the bloops, harder than last time supplements, including testosterone, cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe, click the bell button, and until next time, I am out.